So, you can also follow Dan's beard on Twitter. I was going to come up with a clever handle, but I'm kind of exhausted. Are you exhausted or are you excited? I'm going to be that guy. What? All right. Our next speaker, I only introduce with an anecdote because he speaks for himself. We do the Stupid Cancer Show. I mentioned this on YouTube. It was on iTunes for many, many years. And this gentleman worked for a company, very important company, that actually helped patients connect with clinical trials, like a sommelier, a real-world, life-changing, you have this, you need this, go. And they came on the show as my guest, and right before we went on the air, he told me that he was a 2-time testicular cancer survivor, and that he doesn't like to talk about that, so let's not discuss this on the show, which had 1.4 million listeners at the time. You see where this is going. To the man that I outed to 1.4 million people that he is a 2-time testicular cancer survivor that didn't want to talk about it, it is my pleasure to welcome to the stage my friend, David Fuehrer.
Chad, John, hi guys, how's everybody doing? Awesome. I was backstage getting mic'd up just now, and even in reverse, Dan Shapiro is fucking awesome. I hate you, Dan, and I've never had more beard envy than I do in this moment right now. I feel naked. I don't also know how I smile and frown at the same time. Somehow I managed it. I mostly did that to try to make myself feel comfortable and hopefully get a laugh too. No matter how many times I step in front of people, I feel this instant like gut-wrenching panic. And in my head, my brain says, can they tell? Can they tell that I don't have any more testicles? Can they tell that I can't have children anymore? Can they tell that I didn't know if I was a man after I went through cancer? And when I told Matt, I'm really not comfortable talking about it before he outed me, I wasn't joking. I really didn't know how to even say those words or that anybody could understand. And in this moment, I kind of have to let it wash, because you guys all know what that feels like. And I don't have to do this wall thing that I normally do to try to feel like I don't have to hide that. So thank you for all giving us this moment to be open and real with each other. So thank you very much. I'm looking at my friends over here who have seen me gone from not being able to ever say that to say that, and I never thought I would ever get to a point where I could just talk openly about that kind of stuff in front of people, let alone 600 friends, so that's a crazy thing. Matt mentioned yesterday this thing called GRYT Health that we've been doing for a little while, and we really haven't shared much with you yet, and that's mostly because we didn't know what the hell we were doing. And so we've been figuring out what this GRYT Health company is. And so we spell our name with a Y because in cancer and in finding our grit, there is no I. This is a team sport, and everything we do is about being a part of a community and finding our grit together. Our chairwoman, Shelley Nolden, actually wrote a blog about true grit while she was in the hospital for treatment, long treatment, and true grit was her way of getting through treatment. And so we are very honored to name our company after her experience and what got her through cancer. And so I served on the board of Stupid Cancer for several years, and to get to do what we do now, which is bring our community together to do this new thing called GRYT, which I'm going to share with you in just a minute, Before I do, I'll share with you my dad's quote. My dad used these words with my brother and I as we were growing up. And every time my brother or I doubted our ability to do something, my dad would say to us, "The difficult we do immediately. The impossible just takes us a little longer." And we bring that into everything we do because this stuff, this shit that we face is the impossible stuff that we're all trying to get through together. And so to work with my friends that helped me get to this point in life is an honor I never knew I would have. And so GRYT today is all young adult cancer survivors, caregivers, advocates, researchers who have come together to do this thing. And everybody's story is equally powerful about having to go through finding out about a genetic alteration or having to fight for 3 years to get through treatment. And we come together to support each other and to support our community in the work that we do because we have all gone through that shit and know what it's like. And we've essentially rerouted what we know to use our experiences in this work that we do as GRYT now to help our community. And so what I'll talk about is the Stupid Cancer app and then how the Stupid Cancer app is changing the game for what we do. And so Stupid Cancer's app is the opposite of social media, and I'll be the first to admit I am the worst offender in social media. I want a lot of likes, I want to feel cool, and I want to post pictures that say, "Holy shit, that guy's on top of a mountain, that looks awesome." Right? And that's what social media is in most cases. It's about sort of portraying our highlight reel. And in cancer, the most important thing, and I'm so honored by Dan's authenticity and his ability to talk about the shit. By the way, watching a talk about marijuana in reverse is even trippier than watching it in forward. And so having a place to be real and to be raw and to say the things that we don't think the rest of the world will understand is the reason we created this place to come together. Right? And when we launched this platform, the first guy who connected with me is also a 2-time testicular cancer survivor. And he read my profile and he said, "Hey Dave, I live near Mexico City. I see you're a 2-time testicular cancer survivor too. I want to know if you're able to live all right now and if women find you attractive." And in that moment, I realized how much I had hid those things, and just having the ability to allow somebody else to share that with me was like a moment of purpose and a moment of realization I didn't fully appreciate until we got to that place. And so today on Stupid Cancer's app, people from all over the world are connecting with somebody who understands what they're going through. And David is a remarkable individual on the app, and he wrote something on his profile I want to share with you. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response is our freedom. And I think about those words every day because when I stand up here or when I talk to somebody, I have a choice to let my fear rule me and keep me hidden, or I have a chance to try to be real. And it's scary as hell to be real, but I keep taking that chance every day because I heard somebody say this morning, finding our light helps others find theirs. And that's why I keep doing it, is so that others who are in that awful, awful dark place that I was 5 years ago can start to find their way out of it. And so Ariel, who I'm going to embarrass wherever she's sitting. Hey, Ariel. Ariel runs all of the programs on Stupid Cancer's app. And I like to say she is the heart of everything. We built a space, and Ariel has brought life and meaning to that space. And on the app, we have programs. The ones we're showing you on the screen, How to Tell Your Story, is led by a teacher who's amazing at writing. And he leads an app chat every month about teaching people how to tell their story. And so if you've never sort of shared your story, or if you're in a place of trying to learn to start blogging or start writing about your story, Justin's app chat every month is an amazing way to start doing that. And we have a GRYT movie club, which is never about cancer, but the themes are always about what we face. And the last one, a couple ones ago actually, was The Martian. If you've seen it, you know Matt Damon wakes up on Mars, which isn't really too far away from what we feel like after a cancer diagnosis. And so those are the movie clubs. We do disease-specific app chats. By the way, there's a calendar at our GRYT table, so you can follow where all these are. There are places for me to connect with other two-time testicular cancer survivors, or for leukemia survivors to connect with other leukemia survivors. The GRYT Movie Club happens the second Thursday of every month. Where's Tamika? Hey. You did an amazing job on the last book club. Yeah, and if everybody doesn't know her book that's coming out or out? It's out, right? It's out. Amazing. Your app chat was amazing. So thank you so much for that. Mallory Casperson from Lacuna Loft is going to lead the next one. Is she here so I can embarrass her? Thank you. I'm really excited to see yours. We also do GRYT profiles, and to me there's nothing more meaningful than us telling our story so that others can find theirs. And so our GRYT profiles allow us to have a way to share what we're going through. Pat Taylor has done so much for our community. And Pat is the most selfless person in the world, so to read what's brought her to where she is reminds us of how much we each go through, and her profile is such a powerful thing. There's one last thing I want to close with, and this is a really important thing about our future. And so I want to take a minute to make sure I do it justice. So this year, the future of cancer treatment changed. And what I mean by that is the FDA, for the first time, required a drug company to submit patient experience data with a new hemophilia drug. And what that means is no longer will biology be enough in cancer treatment. We will also have to listen to our experience as patients and caregivers in the ways that we consider the treatment and care for cancer. President Obama did that under the 21st Century Cures Act, and the fact that the FDA has put that in place is an amazing thing. So, thank you. And so GRYT, in addition to creating Stupid Cancer's app and running all of these free programs, we are just finishing our first project ever. And in our first project, we worked with patients and caregivers who have a Hodgkin's lymphoma diagnosis, and we wanted to give them a voice to actually inform the treatment and care of that diagnosis. And so we invited those individuals to participate. They signed up. We were able to compensate them for their time, and they actually used their voice to help create supportive care and treatment resources for individuals with that diagnosis. And in a world today where things are happening about data and privacy and all these things that are going on right now in this crazy world, we as a company have a principle that we will never do anything without asking you first. And so each of these programs we start, we will invite people to participate, and if you want your voice to be heard, your voice will be heard, and if you don't, you won't. And that's something really important to all of the work that we're doing. We're just starting a new project dealing with stigma around lung cancer and a couple others. So if you want to be a part of those, leave a message in one of the chat rooms, the main chat room, or find us at the GRYT table anytime, and our team is there the rest of the weekend if anybody wants to chat about what we're doing. So I get to leave you with this really cool thing tonight. So free pizza is always the thing to lead off with. And so tonight we're doing an open mic, Tell Your Story event. It gives a chance for individuals to get up and have a few minutes to tell their story, and then for everybody in the audience to be able to support them and provide supportive comments to help individuals start to share their story. Please, if you want to be one of the speakers, you have to sign up, and then at 2 p.m. today, we're going to post those 20 individuals in the CancerCon chat room on Stupid Cancer's app. So if you want to be one of those 20 speakers, Ariel and team are at the GRYT booth, and you can sign up, put your name in, we'll draw a raffle for those 20 speakers, and then you'll have a chance to participate. Everybody gets pizza, and it should be a great event. So thank you. Thank you guys for letting me share a few minutes with you. I get to call up to the stage somebody I admire tremendously, but I'm going to say first, Allie is 5 for 5, and what that means is this is my 5th CancerCon, and every year Allie in her opening keynote has made me cry for a different reason. And this year was one of the most meaningful. So please welcome Allie Ward.
Thank you.